Bitcoin has been going sideways for 6 months, 168 days, literally going sideways. Check this out. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's been going sideways for 6 months, does it? Because the intensity of the move up for Bitcoin was so ferocious, it feels like it was much bigger. But actually, friends, what I've come to learn is the nostalgia we have for the moves and how we remember them, we basically blur things out in our minds. And you know this yourself when you think about it. Because the size of the candle in the move was that big, it seems like it's that big to us. It feels like the intensity lasts for a long time, but it actually doesn't. The move was big, but the time distance was actually very short. This was Bitcoin rising up. I mean, if you want to look at Bitcoin, friends, after even that spot ETF, look at this. It was literally just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just like a couple of weeks. Just a couple of weeks was the big move, and that's it. A couple of weeks. We've been basically going sideways ever since then. But we still need that bullish undertone to continue. The power of friendship, don't we? Of course we do. You sit down, bears. You sit down. We got nothing left. We got nothing left. I mean, they tried to take down Pokemon Island over there in Japan's. I'm telling you, friends, one day we're gonna make it. We're on our way. Hey, 40 cycles still repeating. This is crypto though, friends. Just want to let you know. So we've been going 1 month rising, 6 months nowhere, and continuing. So, I mean, like, look, we could be on the way up. But got to remind you, right? Yeah, we could be on the way up now. But you don't feel it, man. You don't feel. So even though if we're going up here, this is still sideways. This is still sideways. This is still sideways. Maybe we pop up in September. Maybe we do. But that's going to be like, 7 months of sideways. Now, a lot of people will ask, hey, how do you stay in an industry and survive this? This makes no sense, because this is like all your family, friends, everybody not watching crypto. They're always confused because whenever they hear about it, it's dumping. And actually, if you check the charts, that lines up perfectly because, friends, the real number is this. You can check back a 4-year cycle and everything. We are getting destroyed 85% of the time. 85% of the time we're getting destroyed. 15% of the time we're actually pumping. That's actually it. And it is as well in the cycles, right? 3 years of down bad, 36 months, 6 months of going up. And those 6 months, which we've come to learn, they're not actually like straight 6 months. There is like 2 alt season waves in there. They're 100 days each. So you're right, they're 100 days each. And they're spread out. So it's kind of like 2.5 months, die, 2.5 months, die. That's actually the altcoin season. If you check it out, that's actually it right now. So this is it. This is it. 2.5 months, woo, fun, die. 2.5 months, fun, die. So this is a very, very common thing for crypto. Very, very common. This is just how it works, right? And look, it's the mechanics of us not having the US government or any government to bail us out. There is that mechanic as well. But also, if you look at it from if you were the master creator of a new asset class and you wanted to help the most amount of poor people, how would you construct it? You would construct it the same way crypto goes up, right? Within the realms of physics and stuff. And what I mean by that, well, you would keep the prices suppressed for as long as possible to let people like DCA $20 in every week, right? Remember, I'll tell you, friends, there's a lady. So shout out to Cheryl. Cheryl's got she's got 2 daughters, 2 lovely daughters. I think she's a single mom. And she's been DCA buying for like 3.5 years. Just $20. $20, $25, just throwing it in. And like every time we go down, and I'm like, man, I want the price to go up. I think about people like her. And I'm like, man, she's been able to at least get ahead of the game because it just stays so far down for so long. Now, it bleeds you and me out, but it actually gives them a fighting chance. Because if the price just kept going up, how do they get in? They can't get in. Their $20 does like a 30x. Okay, sweet. That's $20, right? They don't really save. They don't save enough to be able to get in. But that's how crypto goes, right? That's actually the network effect of how it goes. So we're flatlining for a long time, and then everybody's doubting, and then we have the parabolic spike up. Now, the gamblers are trying to bet on that parabolic spike up, but it's dangerous to bet on that because we don't know how long we're going to have this long, flat, drawn-out period in crypto which lasts a long time. Now, you can see this in, obviously, this is Bitcoin on a weekly chart, right? Because you know Bitcoin, right? This doesn't tell the full story. You're looking at something amazing here. But if you want to see the real reality, you can look at something like Dogecoin, right? So you see this is basically what it looks like. It's like, hey, you have literally forever to get in. Over, and this is where weekly chart, 1, 2.5 years, 3 years, pop, and it goes up. Now, obviously, this is the God chart. Doge is like obviously the first internet joke to ever exist that you can actually trade value on and have attention spans and stuff out here. But hey, it could be happening the same thing now. It could literally be happening again. It's life-changing, friends. These cycles aren't going away. Human fear and emotion and greed, they're never going away. There's always going to be these liquidity switches over time. I really do think that the people believing, which is just continuing to DCA hold, they're going to make it out ahead. The problem though with the ratios and like Bitcoin, that's another thing to think about, because that's going to be very, very tough to basically keep gaining on over time. However, the crypto space is getting more and more competitive, which I'll just show you now. And it's getting more competitive in a good way, right? So friends, I'm going to show you these Bitcoin Maxis, okay? So Bitcoin Maxi, I mean, shout out to Bitcoin Maxis, biggest tribe, right? Biggest tribe. So Bitcoin Maxis are often upset when people move towards poop coins. So I'm just going to show you right now. So this is one of the Bitcoin Maxis. So this is Predator. Holy S, what happened to Leah? She has turned into a full-blown scammer now. So I'll actually watch that video. So shout out to the Twink brothers, Altcoin Daily. I watched their video. She covered it. Basically, I was like, where's the scamming? There must be a big scam in there. It's because she likes Ethereum and Solana. That's right. That's all it takes, friends, in the tribe. But look, you know, 80% of people, friends, who own Bitcoin, they own Ethereum. And then even higher percentage also own altcoins. It's just that the 10%, they're like the fierce maxis, but you need them. They're like the nationalists of a country. They're like, hey, even though my country's getting nuked, I'm never going to leave this piece of island ever. I'm going to die here, right? There's a part of loyalty that resides in all of us. Now, look at this. Around 2018 or 2019, I specifically remember this lady, was strongly opinionated Bitcoin Maxi. And she used to do hyperwave streams with Tone Gaze and Tyler Jenks. Right, so obviously, why is he Tone Gaze? Because he blocked me. All right, you don't want to be called Tone Gaze? You know what to do. All right, that's the drill. It's a shame to see her turn out to be like every other VC parasite, shilling scams to retail investors on television. You got a point. You got a point. Now, look, it all comes down to this, friends. Bitcoin Maxis believe 100% of every other coin is a scam. They're wrong. It's 99.9% of them are scams. And you might say, ha, 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 it's basically 100%. No, because those 0.1% have trillions of dollars of value potential, and they're hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're growing every year. So we can't discount that, you know? By the way, yeah, 100 businesses launch, 95% of them are failing in the next 3 years. Yeah, like you roll this out a few times, one of them's going to make it to the stock market. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff that you're dealing with. They're odds, man. They're odds, and the odds are tough. The odds are tough. That's why we try to filter these things out, and we try to find similarities between the successes. But look at the seething hatred from all the maxis as well. So here's Sunny Decree. All right. What happened? Look, they're in cope mode. Pity. She didn't stack Bitcoin. Greed can be powerful. Reputation is one of the most scarce assets on earth. Always was retarded. She literally used every crypto scammer word in that interview. Yeah, I think it's like, future growth and like distribution of tokens and like unlocks. I like just, this is interesting. But the kicker though is this Bitcoin dominance chart, friends. Bitcoin dominance, is destined. It's destined for lower. Just think about it. I'm going to show you this coming, because a lot of people, look, I know, Bitcoin's strong. Okay, of course it's strong. This is what happens. Liquidity drains out of everywhere else, but Bitcoin is still getting new money because it's the only thing that rallies in a bear market. But eventually, we hit this point of inflection where you've run out of believers. Get it? You run out of believers. So if you run out of believers, who's buying next? The early non-believers. And non-believers, they don't care about Bitcoin at 15K. They don't care about Bitcoin at 60K. Maybe they start to care about it at $100,000. But they get in and they're like, wait a minute. I can't make a 10x on this. This guy is literally buying poop. Dick with butt, right? P-Dye's going to $1. Hex is coming back. What's going on here? It starts pinging in their minds. Now, here's the thing. The stories mean nothing, but you just overlay the price chart. My friends, it's so easy. I have, friends, I'll tell you right now, I'm not too confident of anything in the world, but I can show you this, okay? And I can literally ignite FOMO into the heart of any single person who comes across a picture we have. And I'm going to show you now the Hex price chart, friends. It literally, I'm already ready for it, right? As soon as we get one big snap up, I'm literally going to go down into the 1 hour time frame, and I'm going to scrunch it up. I'm going to go down to this 1 hour time frame. You can actually go back to the past. See these move up? I'm just going to do this. I'm literally just going to do this. Okay, literally, you just do this, and you mark it up. I show that I'm going to do the big measurements, and I go, wow, this thing is up 66% in 5 days. It is storing value better than Bitcoin. Are you going to miss out on the next 66%? That's all it takes. There you go. People start paying attention. Now, when I first came across it, because friends, I'm built for markets, okay? So I was like, there's no way this thing works. There's no way that works. It works. It works. But that's when I started like learning more about crypto, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why is it people only start paying attention when you draw that chart? When you draw like, okay, Hex has gone up 66% now. Yeah. Why are people paying attention in this period of time and then not that period of time? And that's what led me to my journey to figure out, the global liquidity index, cycles, and everything else, and how all our emotions are synced, right? And it is what it is. It's kind of like, hey, how come when I show you a donut at like 6 a.m. in the morning, you're like, oh, I don't feel like a donut right now. But then I show you the donut maybe at 7:30, maybe after you've had a night of drinking with your friends, you're like, oh, yummy donut. See, it's the same donut. It's you. What changed? The cycle of the day changed. Your circadian rhythm changed. I started thinking about stuff like that, and I go, I wonder if we are like consuming this entertainment the way that people consume gambling, which is true, friends. So just like when I've made mentions of this before, this is super, super, super important. I'm about to tell you, so critical. Las Vegas, friends. It is obviously gamble central in Americana, okay? Las Vegas. So this is what Vegas used to look like. It was literally just a bunch of dirt and a bunch of buildings, okay? Now, there's literally nothing there. Now, when Las Vegas first erected, family-friendly show, when it was first erected, 100% of the revenue was gambling. 100%. Now, do you want to know what it is today? 25%. So, friends, I'm going to spin the helicopter hat for that, because when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, altcoins are going to go so much higher than everyone thinks over the next 10 years. They're going to explode then. Because we've put the pattern here. Like, people think they're just here to gamble. No, they're here for something else. They're here for a revolution, fun, entertainment, joining a cult, joining a community, joining something new. They're here for that. They're here to spend their time somewhere else. They're pioneering something new, digital age. We're moving more digital. That's what it is. You got to think about that, right? So the revenue used to be 100%. So everybody, you go in, you play your blackjack, you lose, okay. All the revenue goes there, you go home. Now, it's only 25%. So 75% of Las Vegas revenue is the tourism stuff. It's the girls dancing on poles. It's the shows. It's all the ballerina things and the fountains and all the other stuff and the food, the takeaway services and people staying in the hotels and people going for a Bucks or a Hens and the nightclubs and all these entertainment stuff, It blew my mind. I go, what? You're telling me the city of gambling is not even a city of gambling? How? Because when you're gambling, you're getting a dopamine hit. That's why. And what people have done is they figured out over time, it's taken decades, right? From the 60s to like now it's 80 years, 60 years. They figured out, what do people like doing when their dopamine is going up? And I've got this circle out here, friends. So people like going to day clubs and nightclubs, seeing DJs, right? Watching movies, going on visiting and maybe having some fun with the family, right? That type of stuff. They're all high dopamine, high octane stuff. Now, what they've actually found, what they could do is they're like, wait a minute, you don't need to go blow like $8,000 because your dopamine is fried after a certain amount. You don't need to go blow $8,000 on a table. You get the same dopamine hit with like $80. Just 1% of that. So instead of blowing $8,000 and losing, go throw $80, you're going to lose it. You spent 4 hours there. There's drinks, there's services, right? Go entertainment, go have some fun, go see new things. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Now we've turned it into something different. Now it's an entertainment experience. right? It started as like go in there, lose, and walk out. Now it's going there, lose a bit, have fun, recharge, spend a week, few days, then go back home. We now have to think with our helicopter hats. We're not doing any thinking, peanut brain. We have to think, where does the crypto altcoin industry go from there, friends? Where does it actually go from there? Because once we dig into it, friends, we now get to see that this Bitcoin dominance going down is a reflection of everything I've been speaking to you about. It's basically, we've learned, right? So you have extremes. You have Bitcoin number go up. Okay, store of value, religious aspect. All right. Now you also have pump.fun, which is just straight crack, meth, frying your dopamine receptors, bad. Just like, 0.14% success rate, absolute just thievery, just disgusting. Okay, just STDs all over that. Pump.fun. It's just literally, it's a full-on cancer for Soilana. Okay, and it's also a cancer for the brain as well. So what about the middle part? You go, okay, we're too late to Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's still great. It's a good long-term savings vehicle, but it's not really participating in the new financial revolution as much because it's kind of like, 14, 15 years old now. And the smart contracts, it's basically you're putting, a jet engine on a skateboard. All right. And then on the other hand, pump.fun is let's just go mint JPEGs with a word and hope people gamble on these so they can dump on everybody. We don't like that either. But now let's go, where's the middle here? That's Ethereum. That's Ethereum. That's smart contracts. That's even Solana. What it is? It's smart contracts, layer one platform chains. That's ChainLink putting in the oracles so we can make applications more complex. That's Pulse Chain launching basically alternative things outside of Ethereum. You have different cults and communities existing out there. That's also, there's a place for XRP, there's a place for Binance Maxis, Polygon Maxis. Everyone is sitting here in between. It's like the belly of everything, all right? So Bitcoin maxis believe that the belly is worth nothing. They go, well, everyone's just going to come to us eventually. But I don't think so, man. I think we just learned from Las Vegas. I think what we're going to end up seeing is with Polygon and poly markets and just speculating on the US election. Friends, I just want to show you this, right? With Donald Trump's recent interview with Elon Musk, there was a bet on Polygon markets about whether Donald Trump would say the word tampon or not. All right. And people won the bet. People bet he would say tampon before the word crypto, and they got it right. So I even have this post here. Look, current state of crypto. Crypto investors bet on Donald Trump to say the word tampon during the Elon Musk interview. He did say the word tampon, and these are the distribution of the yes and no bettors. Poly market is a speculation gambling thing on Polygon. So you see how the yes holders? I mean, bro, Big Mike. We got a guy named Big Mike. And Coffee Boy, not to be confused with Crypto Coffee here. And then you have the no holders. I mean, these guys, see, friends, look, you're using too much of your brain. Polly want a cracker. That's actually a cool name. Arb guy. So interesting, yes. Now, how does this transform in the future? You might not like what you see. Because if you're looking at Vegas, everyone's like, hey, I love gambling, right? And then what have I told you? Okay, in 60 years from now, the city's going to be filled with families walking next to half-naked girls, stripper dance poles, everybody getting married in that church thing, Las Vegas story, The Hangover, tourism, everybody going there and getting vomit drunk. People who've never had alcohol in their lives are just going out, going absolutely blasted. People in the early days of gambling, they're like, oh, you're not even a real blackjack fan. You're just here to get wasted. Yeah, but that's what's happening in crypto too. People are coming into crypto, and the early people are sitting there with their shirt and their tie, going what? You don't even believe in decentralization? You don't even believe in stores of value and Bitcoin? You don't understand how powerful this is to change the world? And everyone's like, look, bro, I don't care. I don't care. I just want to see something new. I want my number to go up. Now, in that process of that number go up, we're exploring new things. People are betting on different stuff. They're making meme coins. We're throwing stuff out there. Now, because with crypto, right, you're allowing, the cryptography, the technology, you can transfer value around, right? You can copy paste. You can't copy paste the entry of someone's transfer. So pretty much, your value's stored somewhere, and we're basically running that forward every year, and we don't know where the hell it's going to land. But what we're seeing right now is when the invention of meme coins, everyone's like, wait a minute, the joke stuff is starting. That makes no sense. But yeah, it kind of makes sense. I mean, look at Las Vegas. From friends, they already had all the card games out. You know what I mean? What could they possibly add for gambling in Las Vegas after all the games were made? They've already made blackjack. They've already made Texas Hold'em poker. You know what I mean? And slot machines. Oh, let's change a slot machine. Okay, it's still a game. You have 87 cents return on every dollar put in. You see what I mean? They can't do anything. It's just like, change the game. It's the same thing. So they start adding new things, okay? Oh, there's a new DJ coming in here. Oh, there's a big party coming out here. Let's host something, right? So this entertainment part, these new stuff coming in to grab people's attention, because that's all it's doing, man. It's finding ways to grab people's attention. It's just that people that came into crypto, they were not the types to seek their attention to be grabbed. They were here to change the world, right? Just like people in early Vegas. They don't care. Like, they're not here for a tourist type of visit. They're here to gamble. They want to gamble. They love gambling. They need their hit. Okay, they need their hit. So it's transforming and it's evolving over time. That's why people, we can see this trend. We can see all of these happening in real time, but we have a hunger to figure it out. If you bought Bitcoin at $8, you don't even need to learn this. If you bought Ethereum at $20, you don't need to learn this. But for the rest of us, we do need to learn this. Otherwise, we're going to be left behind. Okay, so that's why you're always going to see this tug of war. But ultimately, the market's going to choose, right? The market's going to decide. That's why I think, but I know in my bones, eventually, this Bitcoin dominance, it's headed lower. It has to head lower. I've even shown you gold versus the S&P 500. That's been trending down over time. Why? Because all the things of network effects that gold has had, right? You now have Google and Amazon and Apple and other big worldly network effects, right, that people are storing value in, as well as gold. Okay, now it's not as old as gold, but you don't give a crap. You don't give a crap. It's around the world. The market prices it the same. Okay, so I'll just throw it out here for you. So even though Bitcoin is the oldest crypto, if Bitcoin has a network effect of 500 million people and gold has a network effect of 500 million people, it has more than that. But if it does, the market's going to give the same price. It doesn't care that you've been around for 5 years and the other thing's been around for 5,000 years. Generally, it actually doesn't care. It actually doesn't care because you're trading the attention span. Actually, and it makes sense. It makes sense. It goes, hey, the network is a network of people. And it's very hard actually to differentiate. Just because you've been around for a long time doesn't mean you won't die. You know, like in the stock market, friends, the average stock in the stock market only lasts for 30 years and then they basically die off. Kind of scares you. You're thinking, oh my gosh, you're telling me Google, Apple, and Amazon are going to be irrelevant in 10 to 15 years? Yeah. Yeah, they will. Isn't that wild? That's wild to think about. That's why you can't go all in on one thing. But we're early enough, we can. There is not even index to bet on, okay? That's what we're moving towards. As this Bitcoin dominance goes down, after everything I've shown you and this tug of war, these Bitcoin maxis and everything I've thrown at you, we eventually get enough coins where we can say, you know what? We're not all scams. 40,000 coins are, but just these couple of ones aren't. That's what we're working towards. Make sure you like, subscribe. Catch you in the next one.